This is your heating and quenching exercise for the unit. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to heat material up, but before we actually get started, you got to make sure you have your proper PPE. Make sure you have a set of gloves, a set of safety glasses, a heat shield before you actually get into the lab. Now we're going to need some other equipment and some other parts to this lab. You're going to need a bucket of oil, a bucket of water, a bucket of sand, a bucket of salt water. We're going to also use compressed air for our mediums. You're also going to need a piece of material. Now this is low carbon steel. This is roughly 2 by 6. It's 1/4 inch thick. Make sure if you grab the material, it's all the same thickness. So we're going to need 5 pieces of that material, as we're going to use the heating and quenching methods for 5 different mediums. You're also going to need a digital thermometer. Very simple to read. All you have to do is hit this trigger on the thermometer and it'll read out whatever the temperature is. You're also going to need a heat source. We're using a propane oxygen heat source to heat our material. You're also going to need a pair of pliers. We got a big pair of pliers here, so when your material is hot, you can grab it while it's hot. We can put it in the quenching medium. If you do not know how to operate this equipment, please contact your instructor in the lab and he'll walk you through how to operate all this stuff. So, basically what we're going to do, we're going to heat all 5 pieces up. We're going to do one at a time, heat one, quench one, we'll go from there. So I'm actually going to heat this piece of material up to about 1300 to about 1500 degrees. We want to be up at that upper transformation temperature, and then we're going to actually quench it. And while you're quenching that, you want to keep track of time that it takes to cool back down to room temperature. So you may want to use a stopwatch. A lot of the students use the clock on the wall. So we're going to heat that up to about 1300, 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. Dip it in this bucket of oil, and we're going to time how long it actually takes to get back to room temperature. Alright, we're going to get started. To get started, make sure you put your shield over your face. We have different shields. You can use your welding helmet, just don't turn it on. It'll be about a number 5 or 6 lens, which is about perfect. And if you remember, if you don't know how to operate the torch, contact your instructor in the lab and he'll walk you through it. Alright, let's get started. We're going to light the torch, dial the torch in. Make sure you clamp the material down. It'll hold it in place for you as you're heating. And when you actually heat, you don't have to heat the whole piece. I want you to heat about half. When that thing starts to turn red, you'll start checking the temperature. Now we're starting to get a little bit of redness in the steel. Unclamp it. Grab our pliers. We're going to actually quench this material in the bucket of oil. Now this is when you actually start taking track of time, and you're going to time to see how long it actually takes to get back down to room temperature. See, right now we're still at about 600, 500 degrees. We want to make sure we quench it down to about at least under 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Starting to get a little closer, we're about... And you're keeping track of the time. The whole idea is to see how long it takes the material to get back to room temperature. If you remember from the PowerPoint, the quicker it gets back to room temperature, the harder that material is. So the whole idea of these different quenching mediums is to actually get a different end result. We're getting close. We're down to about 300. We'll leave that soak. You're going to be doing this process with water, salt water, sand, and compressed air and oil. So you're going to have 4 buckets out, 4 buckets, 5 pieces of material. We're getting really close down to room temperature. Probably another couple seconds here. Really close now. Probably another minute or 2. So, I'm not going to complete the exercise, but keep in mind, so you're going to have a bucket of oil, a bucket of water, a bucket of salt water, a bucket of sand, and you're also going to use compressed air. So the whole exercise is to heat that material up to around anywhere between 1300 degrees and 1500 degrees, get above that upper transformation temperature, and then you're going to quench it using different mediums. The whole idea is the quicker it's quenched, the harder the material is. And if you don't know how to operate the equipment, don't be alarmed. We'll have an instructor. He'll walk you through it. The main idea is be safe. We're using some equipment that is very dangerous. So take your time and be prepared before you get into the lab. All right. Thank you.